Hey everybody, welcome back to the 30 Minutes of Fame podcast. You can't see me today because we're doing an audio only version just to try something new here. And my guests today are a dad and a teenage daughter that are just starting up their podcast brand new. So where I was just about a year and a half ago, nervous as heck. And yeah, Zara and Adam, welcome to my show, all the way from just north of Newcastle, England.
Hello, how are you?
I,
Hi.
I I'm doing great. It's so nice to have you guys on. A lot of people know that watch my show. I have a daughter that's just about to turn 12, and I'm terrified. So
Yeah, well, Zora's just turned 11, so she's just getting to that age there or thereabouts.
yeah, I get text about boy troubles and school drama. I'm like, oh man, go talk to your mom about this stuff.
That's what I dread.
So what gave you the idea to start up this podcast with your daughter, Adam?
It was just basically like I listen to quite a few podcasts where the kind of the celebrities that are like there's a couple in the UK called Parent and Hell and I think it's Happy Mum, Happy Baby or something. Um and there's nothing kind of out there that I know of where it's like a dad and like daughter in my instance of growing up together and sharing that experience. So I put the idea across to Zara and just seemed happy to go along with it.
Yeah, it just came as an idea that my dad had decided, and it sounded like a good plan.
Oh, it's fine, man. When I can get my daughter to, she made me join TikTok, and I've actually met quite a few guests on there. So there's a really good community on there for meeting podcast guests, and we've done some funny videos together. And of course, she says a lot of the things I do are cringe. That's her word. But
Yeah, I get exactly the same one.
so Zara, what's a cringe dad habit that your dad has that you had to explain to your friends before they come over or something?
That is really weird. Sometimes he could be a bit chaotic and weird at the same time.
And Adam, what's one thing Zara has taught you already that just sometimes make you feel completely out of touch with like modern life, TikTok dances, memes, some of those words they use, my goodness.
Yeah, God, where to start? Really, you think you're in with the kids, like with all like the slang words and stuff like bro and everything like that, and kind of when she comes out with words, you're like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah. I've actually got a mug that my girlfriend gave me, and it's got dada on it, and then daddy, and then dad, and then bruh. I don't know where this bra thing comes from, but she calls him that. I'm like, no, it's dad. It's dad.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? All these new words that these kids have got.
So you guys, have you done your first episode yet, or it's coming soon?
No, we record our first episode on Monday, which I think's the 13th. For it then to be edited, and then it's going to be released on April the 23rd.
Beautiful. That's exciting, man. My first episode, I look back at it now and like the editing was so bad and the graphics look so bad and I was just a nervous wreck, but it just stick with it. I'm almost 100 episodes in now and I love it. It's a lot of therapy for me and I've had a lot of fellow dads on there, a lot of parents, and just all kinds of stuff. You never know who's going to come on and what a surprise can come from an episode. Um, my next question's for Zara. What's one challenge of being almost a teenager today that you wish more dads understood?
Just like sort of like the way that like we're dressing stuff because he always thinks that I need like long sleeve tops, long sleeve pants, whereas I normally wear like short sleeve tops and stuff.
I love it. And I guess same question for you, Adam, just the other way around. What's one challenge today you wish more teenage kids understood about their parents?
Um, One thing is that the world from when we grew up is completely different. The world that these are growing up in. Um, Obviously, when we were kids, we didn't really hear a lot of like bad things, if you get what I mean. But now with like kind of social media and everything, the world seems uh, not a nice place, if you get what I mean. So
Oh yeah,
try to try to tell Zara of what we why we do certain things. Um, and she's kind of, oh, but that's unfair because all my other friends do that. But how safe can you be?
oh it's scary, man. I did some stupid things when I was in school. There wasn't phones and it was if you did something stupid or embarrassing, people forgot about it in a couple weeks. They moved on to the next victim. But now, my goodness, like I always tell my daughter, like if you're in these chats with your friends, don't ever say anything about anyone unless they're in the room with you or you're talking directly to them because screenshots are dangerous and that can cause a lot of, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's videos that go around of like, when kids are in fights in schools and stuff, and it can happen like it down south in London, and within like hours it can be spread around the world. It's just crazy how the world have, is evolved.
Beautiful. So as far as like topics you guys are gonna cover on there, um, do you plan on doing a more light and fun side of things or tackling some serious issues like mental health, school pressure, and social media as well?
I'll let you answer that one.
So a bit of both, like how school's going with his ending my primary years and like friendships and growing up and stuff. So it's a bit of both ways.
Beautiful. So have you told any of your friends yet that you're starting a podcast with your dad? What do they think of that?
Yeah, I've told some of my closest friends that I'm bringing out a podcast with my dad. And they seem to be excited about it, and they've told us that they're like excited to hear it. And like the trial podcast, I sent them it and see what their opinion was.
So on a scale of sus, Riz, or Cap, how do you think your dad's gonna do on this podcast?
um, he could be a lot of ways really because he's just overhead kind.
See, I'm still learning what those mean. I don't, sometimes I'll post things and my daughter will text me and say you sniped me, bruh, and I have no idea what she's talking about. I've got to Google it, and then I respond to her.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. It's like explain.
So if there was a what celebrity or fictional dad-daughter duo do you think your relationship is most like?
Ooh, what celebrity daughter thing? Oh, that's a tough question. I've never thought of that. Celebrity dad and daughter.
Like fictional, like on a TV show. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
um, God, I kind of think of one. And you?
um, Not really. I don't think there's many out there.
There's not really, is there? There's
It's mostly just like dad and father or mother and daughter.
Yeah. All right. Well, Zara, how much like Mr. Bean is your dad? Do
so you know who Mr. Bean is over there, do you? Actually, Mr. Bean, the person who plays Mr. Bean, like to go off topic a little bit,
Yeah.
lives, well, he was born roughly about 15, 20 miles away from where we live.
Oh, really? Well,
Rowan Atkinson, yeah.
he is one of my absolute favorites. I could watch those old TV shows till, hours. And there was only like two seasons of them, but I could watch that show for days on end.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was born not, What's your phone doing? Sorry about that. Yeah, but he was born not far from us, Rowan Atkinson.
That's awesome. All right, here's another question for you guys. If you could swap, there's a movie, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, where a mom and a daughter, they switch bodies for a day. Um, so if you guys all of a sudden something happened and you switched roles with you were in your dad, you woke up with your dad's body, you woke up in her body. Um, what's the most embarrassing thing you think you'd do to embarrass your dad?
I don't know. I can't really think of something that he doesn't actually do himself. He does all of his cringy TikToks. Um, I don't know. I would probably not do the TikToks.
There's a dad and a daughter on TikTok. I can't remember their names, but I'm gonna send it to you after. And they do all these, I guess, cringy things and just funny things to embarrass her. And oh, it's so hilarious. And I think they're actually from the UK as well. So I'll send those guys on. Maybe they can have them on your show. But I love it. I love the idea. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be sending everybody through there. Um, yeah. So what do you tell me? Like, what do you got? What do you got planned for, like, say, your first four episodes? Do you have them already set? Is it just kind of go one
Yeah,
week at a
so
time?
so like obviously our school's like different to what it is over in like Canada and like the States. So you go through reception to year 6, is like what we call junior school.
Hmm.
And then you go to senior school, which is year 7 to year 11. Um, and the first episode, so you when you're in year 6, you've got big exams called SATs, which kind of set you in what they call sets in senior school on kind of how like knowledgeable you are and stuff.
Hmm.
So Zara's got a SATs coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So the first episode's going to be about our year 6 journey so far. Obviously, 3/4 of the way through the school year. How our school year's gone, and she's good. She's a buddy, so the kids that are just starting school, like in reception, she gets paired up with one of them kids, and she buddies them, so helps them bed into school, any problems. So talking about that. The second episode's going to be around friendships and how growing up your friendships change. The third episode's going to be about our SATs exams, on how she's prepared for them, and how she's feeling about going into these exams. And the fourth one, I haven't really got an episode in mind what to do as such yet, but that's kind of the first 3 episodes that we've got planned.
It's pretty similar here. My daughter's about to finish grade 6, and then she goes into the high school and the junior high. It's all one school here. I'm in a small town. So it's just grade 6, then you go to high school, and it's scary. I can't even think about it. But from one dad to another dad, the very first time you ever got a real report card from your daughter, and you're just sitting down reading all these things these teachers are saying about your kids. And I don't know about you, man, but that was one of the most proudest moments of my life, just reading that stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really proud, and like obviously when Zara first started school, she was I don't know if schools over there done it, but they were classed as COVID kids.
Yes.
Obviously, the first year and a bit of school was kind of really offset during the pandemic. Uh, so kind of she struggled through kind of the first couple of years in school, but to see how much she's come on and improved over the years is just kind of instrumental to herself, and how she's pushed herself to learn and improve and stick in at school.
Beautiful. I love it, man. This is special. And like I said, I'm going to be following along. And if I can ever, I've gotten my daughter on 2 episodes with me. If I can ever have her on, maybe once you guys are about 15 to 20 episodes in, maybe we'll come on together and you guys can, your daughter can interview my daughter. That would be kind of cool, I think, if we
Yeah,
could
it'd
do
be
that.
interesting to see how that school lives differ.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting. Obviously, different curriculums and everything like that. It'll be interesting to find out. Yeah.
And I should put you in contact when one of the biggest, I guess not wake up moments for my daughter, but it made her look at school a lot different. Is that when we wrote these two children's books together. Um, I had a teacher reach out to me. He's in Tanzania, South Africa, and
Right.
he's one teacher, and he has 200 students in his class, all from grade kindergarten until six. And so they asked for copies of our book. So we sent them like 20 copies, and just to hear these kids reading this children's book, man, it was like we gave them $1 million. And the school, so the girls, when they have their monthly time, okay, they call in sick to school because they can't afford the products.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just broke my heart. And it really made her look at her own school life and how different things are here. But we ended up putting them in contact with the my book publisher, gave a big presentation about it, and they donated like a enough supplies for like 6 months for these girls. It's just really special. And that's when you're starting a podcast, my biggest advice to both of you is not to look at the numbers. Sometimes I get caught up in it. But for me, it's all about impact. Like if one person gets something from a show, or like that connection with the school, or like somebody reaches out to get help, that's the main focus right there. And it's really a beautiful thing once you get into it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And another thing that kind of drove us to do the podcast is that there seems to be quite a lot of things out there for like moms and kids. So like moms and parents clubs.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like dads get left out quite a lot. Like from my experience with obviously growing up in the 11 year that I've had Zora, um, and there's going to be these dads that are like single parents, whether they're kind of
Yes.
the divorce split up or whether wife partners died and they're going through like living with a teenage girl like what I am. Luckily, I've got Zora's mom, my wife, there so she can help us. But dads that haven't got that maybe because I want to get I want to get people involved in the show, so emailing into the podcast and maybe get advice from both sides, which could maybe help like single dads, um, engage with their daughters and build better bonds and relationships with their kids.
I love it. I love it. And maybe an idea as well. I could send some people your way too. I have a lot of single dad friends, and maybe like a monthly Zoom call where like dads and their sons or daughters can just come in and chat just with other dads. Because in my town, I'm in a town of 3,800 people, and every week you see moms and tots program, mom get together this, mom get together that. Because most of the dads in my town are working away on oil rigs for 3 weeks and they're home for a week.
Yeah, that's another thing that kind of I haven't discussed yet with Zara, but I've set up. Do you know what a Patreon account is?
Yes, yeah.
Like a subscription thing. Um, so I've got a page set up where like obviously I think I've set it as £4 British a month, so it's like £1 a week to support the podcast, and maybe once a month we can go live on Patreon and do kind of a live question and answer thing on there. So it's not all just on the podcast, but it's in other ways that we can help people.
I love it, man. I stay in touch with about 90% of my guests, and anything I can help you with along the way or any questions you have. I don't consider myself an expert or anything, but I've learned a lot in the last year and a half. And being a dad of a dollar almost the same age, I'm invested. So you have a new fan, your first subscriber, and
I love it.
I'll try and send as many people your way as I can from Canada here.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant to kind of reach out all across the world because obviously your life to us is different in Canada, and it'd be interesting to see what it's like somewhere else in America or somewhere else in Europe or like Australia, South Africa. It'd be brilliant to try and reach a worldwide audience. I know I'm getting a bit carried away, but
No,
I
man,
just,
you gotta dream big, right? Like I
oh,
want Mike Tyson
100%.
on my show, and I'm gonna get Mike Tyson on my show. I don't care when or how, but I want that dude on my show.
Yeah. So like I've always said, the world's your oyster, and you can make of what of it you can.
Yeah, exactly. I had a I had a blind comedian on my show, and this guy's a dad of five, and he had a fundraiser. He was trying to get there's these glasses in this company in the States makes that gave him 93% vision.
Wow.
So he came on my show and he had a GoFundMe page up and whatever, and in 4 months he raised enough money for these glasses. They're almost set $8,000 Canadian. So about 16,000 pounds for you.
Wow.
And so this last Christmas, he got to watch his kids open their presents for the first time. And
That's
that
that
hit me
proper.
That's
that hit me like a ton of
heartbreaking.
bricks because I know Christmas, it's the best part is watching your kids open up their gifts, right? So he finally got to experience that. And to
That's
me, yeah, that's more valuable than a million views on YouTube. Like it's
oh,
right.
100%, 100%. And like you don't realize how like stuff like that, how lucky you are with your eyesight and your hearing and like having like even just having a child. Like some people like the story behind like how Zara like because it's strange because my wife was told that she could possibly never have kids. And Zara's kind of like a miracle child, so it's it's so special to have with
It
Zara.
yeah, for sure. It really makes you take a step back, and that's one thing you'll find when you have people on your show and you hear other stories. It's like, wow, like what am I complaining about? I had a
Yeah, exactly.
I had a power lifter who was actually from the UK, and no, sorry, he went to the UK, but he's beat cancer 3 times and won two powerlifting championships. And when I had him on, I'm like, wow, here I am complaining about a leg cramp today. Like, well, it really makes you take a step back.
Yeah, Zara's mouth there just kind of hit the floor.
Yeah, it's amazing. And well, I'll have you guys again after you've done, let's say, 50 episodes. We'll come back on. Um, we'll have another chat, see how it's going. If you're open to it, I'd love to have you back on it down the road and see how you're enjoying it and get some more experiences there.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to have you on our podcast, and hopefully when your daughter's around, and like we can compare, like actually compare lives of how school's growing up and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be really cool. So I've got one more question. It's for the both of you. You can answer separately, but it's how I end all my shows. Um, you guys have pigeons over there, right?
Yeah, we've got pigeons. Yeah.
Okay. So a 100-meter pigeon carrying contest. How many pigeons could you fit in your arms and still have left in your arms at the end of the race?
Ooh, well, I'm 6'4", and I've probably got what about a 30-inch reach from fingertip to fingertip. I think I could have. Ooh,
I think you could have a good 10.
I'd have more than 10 in my arms.
15?
No, I'm talking maybe 30 or 40, and then at the end, none because I hate them, so I chuck them.
All right,
um,
for 40 will put you in about 10th place out of my 90 guests, so that's pretty good.
Oh well, I'm happy with that.
There you
What
go. So
about you?
Zara, let's hear your answer.
um, I quite like pigeons. But I would probably say I could fit about maybe 20 in my arms because I don't like how like the flap and stuff. And by the end of it, I would probably say I would have like 5 left.
Five left. Okay, well that'll still put you in like fifth last. That's still pretty good. Pretty good. You're my first. First kid I've ever had on here, so I'm gonna put you number one for kid answers. If if I ever have any more parents with their kids on here, then we'll see how you rank there. But
So
great answers.
before we end, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
What's the one bit of advice you'd give us about setting up a new podcast?
Just enjoy it. Don't get caught up in looking at numbers at the start. Um, if you get negative comments, just move along. I've had a few horrible trolls, but I just laugh at them. And my daughter and my girlfriend are my noise canceling headphones. So just focus on people that matter and think about all the good comments you're gonna get. People that'll say, "Hey, you know what? I can relate to this." For me, when you see a musician or a singer on stage and people start singing along with one of their songs for the first time, you kind of just look at them and you can see that they've had their I made it moment. So when I have a guest come on and say, "Hey, you know what? Talking about this stuff really impacted me," or someone watches an episode and they go get help for something that they're struggling with, that's the people you got to worry about. Don't worry about
Yeah,
the trolls. Just focus on the positive, and you're gonna mess things up. I mean, I've done stupid things on episodes. Just my biggest piece of advice: make sure you hit that record button.
yeah, it helps.
I've finished episodes and be like, oh man, we got to do that over. I'm sorry, I forgot to hit record. That was once, and it only happened once. So now I have a little sticky note in my head that says, "Don't forget to hit record."
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome having you guys on. Keep me posted when your first episode goes up live. I'll promote it. I'll put the links here into this description as to where people can find your Facebook and any other links you want to send me. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for having us on.
Awesome. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Zara, how slay was your dad today?
um,
You've got to give us some credit.
6. All right,
6.7.
there you go. There you go. That's pretty solid.
I'll take it because I'm used to getting ones and twos.
There you go. There you go. All right, well, everyone watching, check out all the links in the description. Go give them a follow on Facebook. Hit that old special subscribe button, like, notify, all that amazing stuff my daughter tells me to say. And just say one nice thing to one person every day for the year at least. It'll change someone's life.